Hello.
Circle Jerk America.
Oh
Welcome back.
Hey, welcome back, Circle Jerk
I forgot
America.
to put on my glasses.
Yeah,
This
put 'em
man
on.
revealed his identity already. He's not a proper spook. He's not a proper intelligence agency apparatus aficionado.
How are you going to protect our future president and then slip on banana peels when they're assassinated? How are you going to do that, huh? How are you going to?
Gosh, we'll have to demote him to Secret Service.
So hey everybody, yeah, you know, we're here in the new studio here. Let's just get some, you know, we're not posting let's get some housekeeping out of the way. We're not posting the full VODs here anymore. We're doing clips. So there's going to be a lot of multimedia experiences happening amongst and around the stream. I mean, I'm talking viewer call-ins, okay? That's the big one, all right?
Are we doing that today?
We've got the technology. In fact, I'm going to put it in the chat right now here.
Yeah, looking forward to chatting with some circle jerkers out there in the wild.
Yeah, you know, the thing I love is meeting new people to jerk in a circle. You know what I mean? That's America. Ain't that America? Apple pie right there, baby.
So the Discord link that's in the chat. I don't know why it's not linking. Maybe one of you guys can link it. Maybe you guys have disabled links. Maybe I've been disabled link wise. I'm not sure.
I think we banned you a while ago.
I think it's the U.S. government,
Nice.
unfortunately.
Nice. I kept on trying to get you guys to sign up for the Westboro Baptist Church.
All right, just send me the link, Griffin, and then I'll put it in the chat.
So in our Google Doc, it's the very top. It's the top link. I've got a link for the YouTube and the Discord. We'll put them there. So a little housekeeping, guys. This is Circle Jerk America, and you know we are America, but so are you. You're America, and that's why we're including you guys in the show. But there's two requirements. One, you have to join the Discord, and two, you have to subscribe to the Circle Jerk America YouTube channel. If you don't do both, we're just going to hang up on you. We're going to hang up on you right away.
Do they have to be American? Is that a qualification too?
Oh, I didn't think about that. Wow.
Select countries, you're banned. I'm sorry, but if I hear one toothless, I didn't brush my teeth in 10 years, Brit, get on a fucking phone call with me, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. This is an American podcast, and I didn't watch my ancestors die and fight in a fucking war to get off that wretched rock in the fucking Atlantic and to stop kissing the king's boot, okay? So I don't want to hear from any of you.
You sound like you're from all over the place.
You're from London. I don't care.
Our recent Christian convert, Zach moved to London, found God, found Jesus, and I think he also found the devil over there, over in the East, the great beyond.
I've been on one trip.
Rowling.
Been one trip back to the motherland, and I lost my foreskin, and that's all I'll reveal.
You got circumcised in London. Is London known for circumcision?
Yeah, I think they're actually less keen on circumcising.
Less keen.
The youth. Yeah.
You know, you got to distinguish yourself from those unholy sons of bitches. You know what I mean? They've got the Church of England, and we've got, you know, we've got fellatio. Who's really winning? You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest.
Fellatio.
Yes.
You know, did you ever in the 90s? It was a big gag that you weren't ever going to get your dick sucked if you didn't get.
Oh, gotcha. I was like, is that I don't think that's the right word you're looking for.
No, it was.
Gotcha.
No, it was.
Don't ever doubt me when I bring up fellatio, Gavin. That's one of my few areas of expertise.
It was. It's tattooed on his ass. So guys, we're here one last time in the Vanguard just posted it in the chat. Throughout the show, we will be taking call-ins from you, asking questions, hopefully relevant to the subject that we're talking about, but who knows? You know,
otherwise you get banned.
We'll allow. I mean, as long as you have subbed to the channel, that'll be fine. But you know, we mentioned fellatio, we mentioned uncircumcised penises. I mean, RFK. We were about to get into the RFK story, but is RFK's penis circumcised? That's what I gotta know.
You know, it's interesting that you guys should ask about that ritual because I am a Kennedy, and Kennedys, we come from a long lineage of Catholics, people from the proud Irish Catholic tradition. So circumcision is, let's say, uncommon in our communities, but Kennedys are uncommon men. We are men.
You got a double
class.
Yeah, that's right.
We are men cut from a different cloth. Griffin, let me finish. The Kennedys.
Okay.
we do one thing better than anyone else, and that's getting down and dirty, sonny. Shaq came in when the Kennedys came
I'll
out.
let you
know
finish.
what I'm talking about.
Sorry.
And I may be in my 7th decade on planet Earth, but you can bet your ass, buddy, my shaft is getting worked. All right.
It is getting clean.
That's actually the topic of today's episode, to be quite honest.
Yeah, it is. It's the topic of the moment. We want to thank RFK for being the only topic that we really need to cover since we started the podcast. Let's get right into it with our lead story of the day here. So we've got RFK Jr., who may sue Olivia Nuzzi. Olivia Nuzzi, after writer bombarded, oh my God, the ads, New York Post, we love you, but the ads. After writer bombarded
only reliable source in news media, by the way. If you're going to read anywhere, read the New York Post. I only trust the Murdoch family name.
So, bombarded him with increasingly pornographic pics and videos. So, I mean, folks, what do we know about Olivia Nuzzi so far? We know that she was a writer. But she's been suspended from NY Mag. She's 31 years old, and she's been sexting, sending those pics, sending those feet pics.
I also heard she left her husband, who was 30 years, or no, sorry, her fiance, left his previous marriage with an older woman to be with Olivia Nuzzi, who was 20 years younger. And then she immediately turns around and starts seemingly sexting RFK, who's like 40 years older than her.
Well, what's crazy about Olivia Nuzzi is she's got game, everybody, and I respect her. Honestly, out of everybody I've ever come across in the entire media, I think I could relate to Olivia Nuzzi. That's a lady that saw what she wanted. She kept her eye on the prize, and she knew how to get there. And do you know what? Do you know
the
what?
rotting, decayed prize.
I'm a feminist.
Oh, okay.
I believe that women should be just as down and dirty as the dogs are. You know what I mean? I believe that you should step, not only should you climb the ladder, but you should cut other people down. Not only should you rise to the top, but you should step on a few other people who are unsuspecting along the way. And we should not forget Olivia Nuzzi. She learned from the best, everybody. When it comes to sexting, there's only one name in American politics that everybody knows, and that's the Wiener name.
Kamala Harris.
Weiner.
Oh, Anthony Weiner. Sorry.
This lady dropped out of college to take a job at the Daily Beast after interning with Anthony Weiner, the sexting king of Congress.
She learned from the best.
And she learned from the best. She said, do you know what? Do you know how you climb the mountain in American politics? Do you know how you stay relevant in media scandals? Being at the epicenter of things that people are curious about.
That's right.
She continued throughout her career to manufacture those things. That's what she's doing right now. Everybody knows the Olivia Nuzzi name, and I'm proud of her. That's a step forward for America.
I actually agree, bro. Because apparently this is a very big name in news, a big name in journalism, big name in DC. Here in Kansas City, not so much. I didn't know who Olivia Nuzzi was. I might have read a few of her pieces before. Apparently she's an impressive writer, but I didn't know who the hell this was until now. I certainly do now, though.
So Olivia Nuzzi,
Evan's hoping that she writes an op-ed about him next.
So Olivia Nuzzi
on a hike.
I'll take you on a filthy car ride to just a dead animal somewhere. That sounds like a nice date. But the thing is, she started with Anthony Weiner, and then she went viral for blog posts in like 2013 talking about her being inside the scandal, and then instantly spilling the tea. She's been a tea spiller since day
from
one.
the same cloth as the Vanguard. Let's go. We love tea here.
It's just like a shark has to swim. I'm sorry, folks. They have to swim. It's the law of the jungle. But so she goes, and then she goes from there, and the Daily Beast, boom, picks her up, and then she's out of college already. She's a hotshot. And basically, like, what she's been like doing ever since are these like, one-on-one intimate like exposés with like world leaders that are like drivel, that are just like terrible fucking articles. But what was always funny to me about her was like she would write one of these articles, and then every soy boy like journalist reporter on Twitter would be like, Amazing, ma'am. Another hit piece, m'lady.
That's how people who went to Georgetown flirt, Griffin. You should know they're all your neighbors now up in Brooklyn.
That's right.
You know, this is what they do. Hi, ma'am. Excuse me. Would you please, if I cut you in on my inheritance, let me take your panties down for a moment, ma'am, and just start to get a nosebleed.
Just one JPEG.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that she had like a tradition of doing these sort of profiles, Griffin. Do you think this is just her modus operandi? What happened here with Mr. Kennedy? You know, not to be distasteful, but do you think this was kind of the way
Let's taste it. Let's taste the rainbow.
Shame
Skittles.
on you. Shame on you. Shame on you, Gavin. I'll tell you what. Just a woman finds an ounce of success in this country, and you want to blame it on her bosom. Shame on you.
Excuse me.
Shame on you.
It was a little more than 1 ounces. Okay, it was.
But listen, we got. I'm glad you asked, Gavin, if she has done this in the past, because actually my girlfriend, who I'm in a loving, non-cheating relationship with, did some digging, and she looked at Olivia Nuzzi's Instagram and some of her interviews with other high-profile men. And so what I want to show you guys now and show everyone now is live and direct some of the Olivia Rizzi right here.
Ooh. Yeah, the Olivia no lies, just the straight chizzy.
Just the straight Rizza.
I think of you as like another species.
We'll do it again.
Sort of like a Martian to me. I think of you as like another
Who's this
species.
Elon Musk?
That's Mark Cuban.
My kids think the same thing
Really? Why did they think it?
because they're teenagers.
No wonder he's in such a good mood. Now we know why.
Well, if we're in agreement, maybe it's true then. What does it feel like when you win?
I mean, it feels good, but it means I'm just on to the next thing.
Do you ever
God, I'm so hard right now. Sorry, everyone. NSFW, if you're at home right now.
feel satisfied?
Griffin's
Yeah, I feel
America's
satisfied
horniest
'cause I
broadcaster.
know I'm learning. I love to learn, right? And I know I'm still competing. You know, when I first started, I was the youngest guy in the room, you know, and people were like, are you too young, whatever. Now I'm the oldest guy walking in the room. I'm like, well, what's this guy know about
Oldest guy walking in the room, Olivia is sopping.
technology? Right? Why are you trying to compete with all these big companies? They're going to kick your ass. I'm like, let's go. You know, that's motivating to me.
He's sort of the type of person that I understand least in the world. His whole life is about competition and beating the competition, and he said that he
She's not
wakes up
smart.
thinking about the
I'm
competition.
sorry, but
and
we
I think
can't keep
that's
up that
actually
charade for very
Yeah.
long. Wow. Man, you know what? I love what tenacity will get you in this world, because this woman didn't have brains for
beautiful.
shit.
It's beautiful. She's
I mean, she's probably just pretending to be dumb.
That's
yeah,
true.
exactly.
Gavin, reinstate Gavin's feminist laurels. This man came in with a pile driver.
Yes.
Shame on me.
Let's go. Fuck you, Zach.
The
All right.
yassification of Gavin.
Man.
Yeah. So were any of her interviews actually substantive, or was it all that kind of softball garbage?
That was pretty substantive, Gavin. She asked about she like wrote competition on her little notepad and like circled it 100 times and was like, yeah, he's really competitive. I mean, listen, that was a master at work. Okay. There are women out there that just know how to control rich, powerful, old men. And why is anybody shaming her for that? This to
That's
me.
what I was asking.
Exactly.
I don't care that she's not bright. I don't care that she's probably not the crispiest wonton on the poo-poo platter. Not here to judge. I'm interested in results, and that lady has shown nothing but results. My media career can't hold the candle to that. They're not writing about me in the New York Post, okay?
Yeah.
So maybe I need to start
Sucking and fucking.
taking some of her advice. You know what I mean?
Sucking
Maybe I
with
need
case
to
cock,
maybe I need
yeah.
to find a presidential candidate that that wants a little bit of the Zach attack. You know what I'm saying? You know, wants a
Jill Stein. You know what I'm saying?
Vivek Ramaswamy, here's my asshole. So how did this get out? How did this leak? How did all of this, heard through the grapevine, come to the front page? Well, folks,
there's a lot of rumors about that. There's a lot of rumors about that. I have been slandered not once, but twice. Not 3 times, but 4 times in this very own story. I'll let you finish, sir. It's injustice. The mainstream media, they don't care about facts. They're supposed to be the ones you can trust, but you can't trust them. You can only trust the Kennedy name. And Donald Trump and myself are here to restore health and wealth and prosperity to this
That's
country.
right. That's right. Thank you, RFK. Thank you. But unfortunately, RFK, you did boast about your nude pics to your friends. That's how this got out. It didn't get out from a hack. No Russian hackers here. Just stinky old guy showing other people her nudes. And you know, how do we feel about that?
My close friends list pulled the old Taylor Lorenz action. I have solidarity with that woman. I can't describe now because the code of brotherhood was violated when I came after my conquest. I'd gotten some weekend pussy. I tried to tell the fellas about it, and they all looked at me like it's not 1969 anymore. I just couldn't understand it.
I mean, for me, it's like, you know, I think if you're age 15 to like 60, you probably shouldn't brag about nudes. It's just lame to do. But if you're like 70 fucking one and a 30-year-old is sending you nudes, I think you can brag. I think you can brag a little bit about that. I think that's pretty
check it out.
that's pretty unusual, right? That's not a normal thing, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'd love to just know more details about this because obviously RFK is basically accusing her of like, you know, inappropriately,
Yes.
almost like non-consensually sending these nudes, which I
was an
don't
attack.
believe. I mean, let's be honest. RFK has been a sex addict his entire life. I don't think that he was
He's
like
been
being
a-
taken advantage of
he's
by
been
this
a victim.
30-year-old reporter.
He's been a victim
But-
his whole life of sexual attacks by women.
Yeah, but that is the only reason it would make sense, not for him to brag about it, but for him to just be talking about it in public in the first place. Because if you really were, you know, if you're running for president, some, you know, high profile journalist, if they were actually sending you that kind of explicit content, you might bring it up and be like, yo, like, can you believe this is happening? Again, if that was a normal candidate, I don't believe for a second that RFK Jr. Wasn't reciprocating the attention in some way, but you know what I'm saying?
Well, let me give you the play-by-play, or you can explain it.
A legal apparatus right now working around the clock to ensure that those messages are never revealed because of the trauma it would inflict on my family.
That's right.
Those messages that do not exist will never be seen by the public.
So what
I'm
happened
a
is
loving
that
family
okay.
man. I would never do that to Cheryl.
Well, you know, the thing
I learned my lesson after I cheated on my wife 44 times, and then she, God, it looks like,
what happened? What happened to your
Oh
camera?
my God, RFK.
Did you switch
RFK,
cameras?
He left the studio. Oh my
Gavin left.
goodness.
Can I do this fucking story now, RFK? You're stonewalling us. So RFK is claiming he's a victim in this story. Okay, RFK is a victim in this story because apparently he blocked her multiple times. He blocked her multiple times, and every time he unblocked her, she would send more nudes. Guys, just a tip, hot tip for you guys, you know, for those out there looking for some news. But so basically, going on in this story here, Kennedy has hired a security expert. He's hired a security expert to look into this.
Is that Gavin DeBecker, right?
Yes, because that's what you do.
We talked about him before. Remember one of his top donors also?
Yes. So Kennedy 70 has hired
A
security
trusted man
expert.
the Kennedy family condones.
He's hired security expert Gavin DeBecker to probe the saga because he's allegedly pursuing civil and potentially criminal litigation against a 31-year-old star political reporter. This has nothing to do with romance, DeBecker said of the sordid saga. He was being chased by porn.
That sounds like a fucking like a Hitchcock movie that's set in the modern era, chased by you know what I'm saying, like The Birds, but it's just a bunch of it's just a bunch of MP4s of like, you know, porn flying down out of the sky or something. Like, what the fuck? What kind of way to describe sexual harassment online is that? Even if it's genuinely true that RFK Jr. was being like harassed, what kind of fucking way to describe it? Like he was being chased by porn.
It's like it's like the shot from The Shining where it's coming through the bathroom door, but it's just fucking nudes.
It's like a child running away from a shot at the doctor's office, but instead it's a heroin addict in his plug.
Yeah.
And you know, it happens. It happens to everyone. You know, powerful men can be sexual assault victims as well, and this does seem like a clear-cut case.
RFK got Terry Crews.
But, you know, so I mean, she's there's a lot going on here. I mean, did you guys hear that? What's going on in RFK's phone contacts? How he had over 43 mistresses in his cell phone, but they were all labeled G at the start to symbolize the Italian word gumar.
What is Gumar? What the fuck?
Gumar, like they use it all the time in The
Sopranos.
Sopranos. It's
Come
like
on.
what they call the side chicks. They'll call him your Gumar. Oh, go off and fuck your Gumar. You know, you learn all kinds of fun Italian slang if you finally watch The Sopranos. But
Taking
anyway,
your leftist card back. You're not allowed at the next DSA meeting until you've seen all of The Sopranos.
yeah, you have to. I told him not only does he have to watch it once, he has to then turn around and watch it again.
But yeah, so I mean, he's a stinky guy. But
You
you know,
ain't nothing but a hound dog.
but I thought
Crying all the time.
I did think, like, you know, she's been suspended from the
You
NY
caught
Mag.
47 rabbits, but you ain't no friend of mine.
It's just so
RFK, he's a real
gross.
hound dog.
One time I met him and his shirt was really stained, and I've always been thinking about what that stain was from. Like, you know, it could just be anything from the animal kingdom. Like, it was not mustard. You know, this was
It was a yellow It was a yellow color.
it was a light pink stain. And it was
he was
baked
probably.
in.
Yeah, he was probably. It was probably nothing. You know, he was preparing a traditional meal of haggis and blood sausage, and you know, he just didn't have time to, you know, pamper himself because he's such a Kennedy down to earth man.
Yeah.
You know, he had to just come in rugged.
Yeah, I also wanted to talk about this story. Like, you know, RFK has been described by himself as a sex addict, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's that diary he supposedly wrote back in the day when he was in prison somewhere, and he was like, "I'm finally happy because there's no women around me, so I can't like lust after them." Right, because he was in like an all-male prison. He was like, "This is when I realized I'm a sex addict."
RFK being transphobic once again. I'm sure there was plenty of women in that jail.
And I feel like, you know, sex addiction, it's often not taken seriously because it's like, oh, sorry, you're drowning in pussy, like you just can't control
What's
yourself.
it like to be a rich
Right.
white guy?
Yeah, most people are like, oh,
They
I
can't
wish I had that problem, right? And I think it's also, you know, unfortunate when it comes to these high-profile celebrities, people like RFK. Another one that comes to mind is Russell Brand, who's talked about sex addiction, where it's like a lot of times I feel like the people who talk the most about being sex addicts are also the ones that like to bring that up to kind of distract from the fact that they have a bunch of sexual assault allegations or sexual impropriety allegations. So then a lot of people just sort of think that, like, oh, you're not actually addicted, you're not actually suffering from addiction, you're just using this condition as an excuse to basically rape people and be a total piece of shit. But I am interested in your guys' opinion of, you know, where someone like RFK falls on that spectrum. Do you think there really is a condition that's afflicting this guy, an addictive sort of condition? And to what
Wait,
extent?
are you
know, do
asking
think-
if sex addicts exist or if he's a sex addict?
I mean, well, kind of both. I mean, obviously I know they exist, but like, to what extent do you take
Yes
it
and yes.
seriously?
Y-
Because
yes
I
and
mean,
yes
if you're
and
an
yes.
alcoholic and someone starts like being like, hey, here's a shot, here's a bottle of vodka, like, you'd be like, fuck that person. But obviously you wouldn't say that about someone sending nudes to a sex addict, because that, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's
Watch
weird.
me say this about the sexual assault. That nanny was a whore. That nanny was a whore, and she was a lying whore.
She didn't even get a G in the phone. She got a W.
And this was not there. Let's just say me and fellas like me, we all learned from Arnold. Okay, Google that if you don't know. But you know what I have to say about sex
Schwarzenegger?
addiction is that it's a very real and painful process that has afflicted the Kennedy men, much like bullets from their own government.
I think it's more complicated scientifically. I think he's addicted to dead animals, and that gives off a pheromone to women that is then attracting them. But, you know, everyone is entitled to their own theory and their own ideas of what sex addicts are. I do think that if you are born like that famous or whatever, it's you kind of like already, like, famous people are aliens, celebrities are aliens. They have such a distinctly different experience from the rest of humanity that they're gonna be fucking weird aliens and get away with, because they can get away with everything and they're given everything. But I wanted to highlight a very specific defense coming from Olivia's people. You know, a lot of Olivia's coworkers have been silent, but thankfully Ben Smith here at the Semaphore came out with and I'll read this if you guys can't read it on stream, but an incredible defense of Olivia here. I just wanted to read a little excerpt here from Ben Smith at Semaphore. He says, but now that we are in the full fury of American media prurience and self-righteousness, I'm going to risk my neck on a slightly contrarian view. Yes, risk it. Reporters have all sorts of compromising relationships with sources. The most compromising of all, and the most common, is a reporter's fealty to someone who gives them information. That's the real coin of this realm. Sex barely rates. You won't hear many American journalists reckon with this. Some British journalists, naturally, have been texting us to ask what the fuss is about. If you're not sleeping with someone in a position of power, how are you even a journalist? The advice writer Heather Harvalitsky texted me Saturday that the world would be much more exciting with more Nuzzis around. But alas, the world is inhabited by anonymously emailing moralists instead.
Let's give a round of applause for Ben Smith.
Yes. Yes.
I will say, though, for Olivia to make good on this, she has to release a tell-all book where she actually spills the tea.
Pre-order.
If you're going to do the investigative reporting, then you have to share the fruits of your labor. You can't just keep that a secret, or else it was just a
100%.
personal, thing. But let us know. Spill the tea. We want every detail. We want to know every disgusting facet of this man's private life,
the size,
his physical
the
appearance.
girth. Yeah.
Tell us what he asks you to eat out of his asshole. I want to know. We want to know it all. There's no shame. Be specific. This man is a Kennedy, and the people will gobble it up just like you did.
Exactly. We want you to hit the nose to the grindstone in this book, Olivia, because we're gonna be there at Barnes and Noble's midnight, pre-ordered. But
and that might be her only path left career-wise, because I don't think the serious journalistic institutions are going to be all that excited to welcome her back into the fold, considering her transgressions ethically. But that might be the best lane. What do you think? Do you think she has a future in professional?
I see her now. Watch me. I'm pointing to the
Olivia.
I'm Barry Bondsing this one.
Television. She's gonna get a job on TV. Dog.
No, I'm Barry Bondsing this one. She's gonna be on Talk Tua next week, the Hawk Tua podcast, and then she's gonna be right back to it. I think this is we're in a sex positive arena again. Okay, and so I think it's a bright new start for her. I really do.
I think she's going to be sitting across from Cuomo on News Nation in about 10 weeks, and I think that she's going to be the new rising star, and they're gonna really boost her. I think this is her Hawk Tua moment. I think you're mixing the signals, though. I think you're mixing the signals in her Hawk Tua moment. Now she is getting a springboard to the next level.
Well, she needs to come out and clear up, what exactly happened before any of that, because right now RFK is the one that has the last word.
Yeah.
He's accusing her of sexual harassment. So she does need to come out here and be that's not true, because now she's kind of letting herself look like the villain of this story, which is ridiculous because, again, if you actually look at the context and who RFK is, it's pretty clear that it's very likely the other way around, or they're both equally guilty. I don't really, care, like in a moral sense, about this sort of extramarital sort of affair, but there is proof that RFK Jr. has been just straight up mentally abusive to women. So I'm like, I'm not going to give this fucking guy the benefit of the doubt.
Well, 100%. Here's the thing. I think Olivia, I think Ms. Nuzzi, excuse me, we'll put some respect on her name, is actually playing her cards right. She's playing, twisting the old stash over here. I think she knows being the villain for now keeps you in the papers, keeps you in the tabloid, but I bet she's got a couple of aces up her sleeve. I bet she's ready to hit the pout right when the story is about to really die down, right when the Olivia Nuzzi name is about to, fade into the 24-hour news cycle. Bam! She hits him with the Yu-Gi-Oh card that says "You're vanquished." I know you guys like Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay,
I wasn't gonna understand it unless you broke it down that way. Thank you.
Exactly. So you know what? That's why we do Circle Jerk America. You know what? This is the layman's interpretation of the news.
I think they're both guilty, and I just think that at the end of the day, did it all for the Nuzzi. What? Nuzzi. What?
Why do it all for the nookie?
For the Nuzzi. But folks, this is the perfect time for us to Premiere Pro outpoint the clip and take a call from our audience. If one of you two gentlemen could post the Discord link, spam it maybe 3 or 4 times. I see some people have joined the Discord for the first ever call-in show for Circle Jerk America. We're America, you're America. Let's hear from your America for a second. Now, I've seen some people join the Discord. The next step, you got to enter the call-ins area. Click on the call-in side right there on the left. Little tab that says call-ins. Just remind you guys, you hop in there, and we'll
Can
get
you do that
sorted
from your
out.
end, Griffin? Or do I need to pull up Discord over here too?
I've got the Discord stuff handled. What you guys need to do is just post the Discord link in the chat, and then
Okay.
this will be a smoother process in the future. But yes,
Yeah,
folks, for our chosen warriors and whoever decides today to come in the Discord, we will be taking questions, hopefully about the topic. Or something tangentially related to the topic. You know, maybe there's a Nuzzi in your
Can't
life.
ramble on and on about like fucking DC or some shit.
I'm not going to hear about Jill Stein, okay? Me and Jill, we have an on again, off again, Facebook, it's complicated relationship, okay? And she's currently
Griffin
blocked.
has an image to protect, okay? This man still has to swim in the swamp, everybody. This man is relying on the media to pick him up. This is for his reals, guys. Gavin and I, we're just human furniture while Griffin exists around us on this podcast, okay? This is
right.
how Griffin is going to get he's trying to be the next Ryan Seacrest, okay? We're not here to stand in his way, okay? You know what I mean?
Yep.
When he's hosting American Idol, we think he's going to give us a cut.
Yep.
I think so. But you know, in the meantime, while we wait for people to join Discord, I mean, was there anything else on your guys' mind right now? I mean, obviously, you know, we could get into that Nazi story for a second. We did start late, so I do have to leave around 4 just to let you guys know. So this is gonna be super short.
So we got about
for your time or our time?
for my time, like 15,
well, then let's go
20
ahead and
minutes.
plow right into Mark Robinson because that's about 14 minutes from now.
Okay, great. All right, let's do Mark Robinson then. All right.
Yeah, all you
Black
fake
Nazi.
all you fake circle jerks out there, that's what you are. You're a circle of jerks. Okay? Nobody came in, nobody called because you can't take the heat. All you want to do is yap in the comment section. But when it's
they're
time to
joining.
get down and dirty, wow, people
They
are
just-
joining. Excuse me, I
They
lied.
just can't get
Oh,
in.
they're joining.
Let's see if
Oh, they can't get in.
let's see if I can bring him in here. Permissions.
It's like a
Anyone can
Bootwell
join?
film.
Anyone
They're
can
there,
join.
but they just can't get in.
But I do not understand. Why can
Yeah.
they not get up? Well, think about it for a while. Honestly, the fact that never mind.
All right, you
What
guys.
the fuck, we've been excised from
Yeah,
this.
wow, this is a mutiny on our own show.
Griffin just once our fucking YouTube channel. I knew
Griffin
it.
sabotaging us to the fucking wow. Look at us. He's got a fancy background. He's in the Oval Office. He's got us hanging out in the brig. What is this? He's got us wiping the poop deck over here. This guy, he's eating all our clam chowder, Gavin.
We're
He's
all-
saving the good rum for his punch.
I want to set up eventually where we're actually on the Oval Office like couches across from each other. Like that seems to be
Ooh,
more
great
like
idea.
our, because we're more advisors. I am sitting in the president's chair right now, but we're all 3 of us technically are
It's a coup
our
d'etat.
president. No. All 3 of us are president. We're all 3 of us a Hydra. We're gay
Like
married.
the Council of Elders that Joe Rogan loved to talk about.
Exactly. Except we're gay
It's on
married.
being Elon. I'm the richest. Haha.
Yeah. And we're raising
fattest.
Yeah,
children.
that's true.
The ugliest.
Hey, money buys a lot, and it can buy happiness if you know how to spend it right.
All right, folks. We've seen a lot of people joining the Discord here. Click on the call-ins area. If that's not working, someone in chat let me know. But we're getting there. Well, let's
This is
start
the
talking.
first week we're trying this out, so sorry.
We're
if it's
trying
a
this
little bit
out.
slow, guys. By next week, I'm sure we'll be calling. We'll have so many people calling in. It'll, no one will ever have seen anything like
That's
it.
why it's broken, everyone. It's calling. So many
There's a
people
lot
are
of people-
calling.
there's a lot of
Everybody's
people in the
calling.
Discord now.
There's millions and millions of people calling, and that's what they're calling. They're calling to talk to us. They want to talk to us so bad. The phone lines can't handle it. They can't handle how many people want to talk to us. It's crashing it down.
Just like the X spacer.
All right, we got
You
a
know,
caller here.
millions of
Wow,
people, they
first
won't see
caller.
it. Everybody wants to see it. This
Oh, we
person
got a
wants to
caller.
talk. Everybody wants to talk. How are we doing today, person who wants to talk? What's
All
going
right,
on?
caller. Hey, caller. What's going on? This is the first call-in ever. Oh, and they're gone.
Oh, they got
They
scared.
left. They got
Uh-oh.
scared. I dragged them
Wow.
in, and they
Now
left.
nobody can say the Vanguard doesn't take calls. Circle Jerk America takes calls. God damn it.
We take calls. We are yes, we are like a
Don't be
third-
afraid, guys. Don't be afraid. If
Yeah.
you're not as articulate and intelligent as the 3 of us, we understand. We understand.
Look at
We're
how
not
far
going to judge you.
You know, look at how far along they've brought me. Everybody, go watch the first episode of The Vanguard.
Yeah, we still tolerate this. Come
Yeah.
on. I mean, can it really be any worse?
It couldn't. You know,
I'm
that-
a
that's what we
black
do here.
Nazi. Oh wait, I'll start the audio clean. I'm a black Nazi. North Carolina GOP nominee for governor made dozens of disturbing comments on porn forum.
Let's start there. Let's
start
stop there
there.
really quick for a second because I want to have Gavin chime in. Gavin, as the kind of guy who does leave comments on a porn forum, what's the impetus for that usually?
Yeah, how often, Gavin?
No, for real though. Who the fuck does do that?
Gavin, as like a superstar, like porn super user, Pornhub super user, you're one of the ultra
Don't
accounts.
expose me live on air.
There's the gooner, dude. That's why you guys should see his room. It looks like a fucking casino security floor room. You know what I mean? Where there's all these fucking images out there, but it's just like, you know, all kinds of real unsavory stuff that Chris Hedges writes about.
It's like Videodrome on every screen.
You know, a lot of human fluids and other.
No. I have always wondered though. Like, I mean, for one, why would you even have an account on one of these websites? That's my question. Like, if you're watching porn, just fire up a private tab.
Easy
fire
first
up the
answer.
Video,
Easy
do
first
what you gotta
answer.
do.
Easy first answer right here. Obviously, you want an account so it can track your interests, so it can give you things that you're more interested in. Because if you're logging
you
into,
have to spend a lot of time.
if you're,
I feel like a lot of people
if you're
overthink
logging into a porn
this kind
website unlinked, you're not going to get suggestions. Like,
Do
imagine
you have
going,
really specific.
imagine
you know,
going into
I don't
YouTube.
know, man.
My specific stuff is on porn, which I don't really watch a lot of porn anymore, but like I just want it to not be weird or
Griffin's
violent.
worried his girlfriend's
like-
listening, right? He's like, the girlfriend
yeah,
I
let me-
love very much. I gave up porn 10,
It's normal.
15 years
Yeah.
ago.
You said you
know?
don't want it to be what or violent?
She wishes I was watching more porn. Trust me. The
I
thing,
forgot
I don't
you're
want it
old.
to be. I don't want it to be weird or violent. Is the thing. Like you know.
yeah, dude,
That's why.
That's one thing that is true.
That's
The
why I need
porn in
suggestions.
America is fucking weird.
Well, that's why
Is it?
I
Oh, yeah,
think.
dude,
Anyways,
you gotta watch the French stuff. You know, the tasteful stuff. You know,
I'm just
I feel
answering your
like
first
we are
question.
getting a lot where Woody Allen is welcome and Friends. I'm sure that it's nothing weird happens sexually there.
I'm
Well,
just.
I don't care about
just-
what happens behind the scenes. You know, suspension of disbelief. I'm only interested in the results, Gavin. I'm interested in how I feel, not the
Eating a
poor women
croissant
that are involved in the
In
shoot.
the park with my boyfriend.
All right. So I answered your first question. Easy first one.
I like it when it's
He's a
French
porn
because then it'll be
poster.
like a 20-year-old boy and a 67-year-old lady. That's pretty common over there.
But the funny thing about this account name, Gavin, this
Oh,
mini
residential
solder account name, is that like someone discovered that he had this account like back in like 2019. And they've been like sitting on this, like this ultimate like Yu-Gi-Oh card, like Zach said earlier. They've been waiting to whip this one out for like the perfect moment. And they decided to do it right before his I guess certification, whether he could actually drop out or not. And so he had 24 hours to drop out, and he decided, I'm staying in. They can't take me out.
This is one of those scandals that's so crazy. Everyone's fixating on a couple aspects of it, the black Nazi thing. But again, it's one of those scandals that's so crazy that there's incredibly juicy details that aren't even being talked about nearly enough. Like, I think this is one of the screenshots
Yes,
where he
let's go
talks
for
about
it.
how his wife's sister, he's fantasizing about his not only fucking his wife's sister, but getting pissed all over by his wife's sister while
Spoiler
he fucks
alert.
her ass. Yeah, sorry. Anyway,
So this site
it gets
is called
real weird.
This site is called Nude Africa, which is, I don't think there's a better combination of words out there. I've been saying it all day. Nude Africa. It's incredible. It's a great name.
Griffin's stellar door.
It
It's
is.
also amazing because of how the layout of the website look. It's just like that.
Yeah.
You hear Nude Africa, and then you
looks-
you don't picture this. You don't picture this like notepad looking fucking 2006.
It looks like
website.
it looks like Semaphore.
Yeah, it does. It does.
He's posting on semaphore.com
I was
/Nude
really
Africa.
pumping the Dookie shoot good. I'm
Let's
sorry,
do
I'm
it.
reading this for the
I'll
first
take the-
time.
All right, let's go. Let's get into it. So the first post on Nude Africa, this is
Fuck,
dated.
that was
This is dated November 1st, 2011. Zach, contain yourself. We have to get through this. All right.
I'm sorry, this is very normal, right? I'm just an
Uh,
everyday American.
All right.
Kidding class when the science teacher says penis.
This one is
Okay,
titled
when the fucking
Wife's
teacher
Sister.
says
Can I-
pumping the Dookie shoot? You
Stop
can
reading
laugh.
ahead. I want to read it, but you're reading ahead. Let me read it.
But Griffin, shut up, including me.
Wow, Griffin forgot this.
Oh,
hey,
no,
I
no,
said
no.
everyone but Griffin.
Had me another hot morning with the wife's sister. She brought along her laptop this time, and we watched some vids here on NA. The one that really got us hot was called Wet Anal. That vid got her pussy soaking wet. And y'all know what I did, right? That ass was wet, slick and good, and pissy. And I licked and sucked that pussy and asshole till my face was covered with her funky juices. Then she sucked my dick till it was good and hard. Then lubed it down with wet.
I don't think you're really giving it the full. I don't think you're really giving it the full delivery.
All right, you do the second paragraph. Go for
I'm
it.
gonna read it in Mark Robinson's voice. You know,
I don't know what
he's
Mark
right,
Robinson.
yeah,
MLK
let's all-
on steroids. That's what Trump called him.
Yeah. All right, I'll do
she
okay.
laid
Then she laid back while I greased that asshole
that
with her
asshole
pussy
with
juice.
her pussy juice.
Yeah, go for it. MLK.
Watching my dick slide in and out of that asshole takes my breath away. It looks so good. We asked fuck a lot, but she gave me a nasty, sexy surprise this time. Right when I was really pumping the dookie shoot. Good.
The dookie shoot.
She shot a long, hot stream of piss up in the air that covered my chest and stomach. It was so fucking hot. She was coming. I was coming. She was pissing. And I was covered in piss. And pussy juice and lube. Damn. This girl is good. And I can't wait till next week to get some more.
Some
wow,
more.
This dude.
Next week, he's just counting down the days.
counting
It's
down the days to
been-
get
It's
pissed on.
been since I've been
Who
pissed
among
on.
us cannot
It's
relate?
been
Who
Dave
among us
Dyson
cannot
pissed on
relate
me.
Till when we get the opportunity
Pump
to
the
fuck
dookie
our
shoot.
Dude, sorry. Got my back all pissy and wet. Said, meet me on
Don't
Nude
waste
Africa forums.
Yeah. And also, apparently, he doesn't actually have a step sister. This is just a made up fantasy. I
Oh,
guess.
wait. No, that's
That's
all
what
this,
I hear.
Well, all the step stuff is normally very real in porn, so that shocks me. That's very shocking to hear.
Yeah, apparently his wife, like
Um,
he probably just was fantasizing like a version of his wife that's hotter. So he's like, that's her fake sister that I pretend to fuck or something. I don't know.
Perhaps.
I'm trying to get in this man's mind.
You guys, chat. You think you've had enough? We're pile driving you into the floor.
I'm back. We took a break for a little bit, but picked up whack where we left off. I hooked up with my wife's sister, and boy, was it good. That pussy is still creamy, and that asshole is still slick, shiny, and pissy smelling. I fucked her good, and after my dick was coated with her cream, we 69.
Yes.
Sucked my dick and balls clean and tossed my salad while I licked. This is great. I can't even feel myself.
We're gonna
You
get
can't do
banned
it.
on
Oh,
YouTube.
okay. Wow. That's how freaky you get, I guess. You wouldn't last
Yeah,
one day
it's
on
true. I
Nude
Sucked her
Africa.
huge clit, like that's something he's attracted to. Interesting. Yeah.
Oh,
bro,
yeah.
it
When they're
takes
huge.
I'm
different-
not judging. I'm not judging. I'm just saying from the piss to the huge clit to the
Right.
you know.
Is that what
the-
North Carolina's all about?
I don't know, bro. It's a
You know what? This man, he likes to set the record to Johnny Be Good and do the old Chuck Berry every once in a
And
while.
also, this guy's a fucking preacher. I feel like we haven't
Yeah.
talked about that.
He
That's
was a
why
son of a
Trump called him
preacher
MLK
man.
on steroids. It's not. He didn't just call him MLK because he's black. That would, be too obvious. It's because he's a black preacher. So, Trump was at least working with something there. But I feel like that makes this all the more shocking. Obviously, if it was a normal guy, it would still be a scandal. But it's always the fucking pastors and the preachers. Why are they always these so degenerate?
Yeah, I mean, the thing too is like what I loved about the MLK line from Trump, and Trump's like been calling him MLK a lot, was that like this guy is like considers himself to be a black Nazi. He was caught learning German on Duolingo. Like he also makes mini like Nazi memorabilia soldiers and takes like diorama photos
Well,
with
MLK
him.
also did that shit. To be fair,
Right, he made dolls. He made lots
I think
of
that's
dolls.
what Trump was actually
That's
referencing.
yeah. He's like,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. That was part of the dream.
Him and Harlan Crow get together and they hang out and have tea in his special room where he's reminded that that was really horrible what the Nazis did.
Yes. So Trump for Trump to call him that, he was offended. You know, he got offended. He's like, I'm not MLK. Actually, I'm actually a way cooler type of guy than MLK. So that's funny. So he's in the race still. The Republicans, the campaign is crumbling. A lot of people are quitting. Do we think that this is going to affect the race? Is 2024 going to be saved by Nude Africa, by North
Help
Carolina?
the Republicans.
Oh, it's going to help the
the-
Republicans.
The Robinson
It is.
Trump
Yes.
ticket in North Carolina.
I think so.
No.
I think so. Yes.
I
Putting it
do
on the
think we're
map.
getting to the point where these sort of sex scandals are increasingly meaningless. But I do think
Yes.
this one is weird enough. And because of the fact that there's the Nazi stuff in there, it's not just the dude having an affair. Even the RFK thing, I don't think as many people are going to care about because like he's an obvious philanderer. It's not that unexpected. And again, it seems like they're both just normal adults. In this sense, it seems a little bit different because he's literally talking about being a black Nazi. He's talking about how in one post saying that he was like, I wish slavery would come back. I would buy a few slaves. And I'm like, bro, if slavery came back, I hate to tell you, but I don't think you'd be a slave owner.
It's called
know what I'm saying?
Postmates, okay? And listen, I mean, I've seen a lot of Republicans say that like Native Americans had slaves in defense of this, which is, you know, I like that they're having to whip that one out. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, Republicans love bringing that up. Like, did you know that fucking these people of a different culture also had slaves at one point? It wasn't just us?
it again. I don't know.
yeah, who knows? I mean, it's like communism where you don't always get it right the first time. So it'd be funny. Like, I don't know if this is going to affect the race, but you know how there's those like maps of like porn interests on like all 50 states or whatever. What if like we look at the North Carolina one and it just says pissy? And we were like so wrong. It like that like really is representative of a lot of North Carolinians. I mean, maybe, who knows? I think so.
Yeah.
That's the perfect time.
I will
yeah.
say, go ahead.
No.
The last thing I have to say is that, you know, I don't kink shame, but if you're into urine, then you're fucking disgusting. That's unacceptable.
Whoa. Okay,
Well,
now
what
I
about
should have cut him
fecal
off.
matter,
I
Gavin?
should have cut
I'm
him
sorry,
off.
Make the
sorry.
exception for that.
I do not make an exception for
We have our first caller here, E-Dog. E-Dog, what's up? You are our first caller on Circle Jerk America. Thank you. Just a second. And for anyone, can we put the Discord link in chat one more time? Wait, E-Dog, you sound like shit. What's going on?
E-Dog.
Hello, this
Hey!
is. Oh,
E-Dog.
so
Are
I'm.
you- Oh, there you go. Okay. Hey, E-Dog, hold on. We'll get to
Okay.
we'll get to you in just a sec. Don't worry. There's a structure to these things. Folks, if you wanted to join and call into the show, click the Discord link that's in chat right now and enter the call-ins Discord channel. You'll get pulled in if I like your username. Okay, E-Dog, you're our first up. What is your question?
So I have a question with how Israel is now attacking Lebanon. Do you think
Oh.
this will negatively affect Harris's chances, or do you think this is just going to be another one of those crazy moments in Israel?
Well, RFK hasn't really weighed in on that yet. You know, I'm not sure.
Well,
I'm not sure.
Okay, well then this is a question about RFK.
Second question. Follow up.
How can we take him seriously anymore? I mean, I used to love the man as a environmental lawyer,
Mm-hmm.
but seeing what he's descended to, it's just sad. Am I the only one who?
I think it was actually the result of a medical anomaly. We've covered intensely that,
Yes.
that brainworm can do some damage. I think it actually, you know, we were trying to coordinate the geographic specifics, but there was a time where they passed at a train station. And I believe that brainworm that infected RFK has been passed to John Fetterman. If you've seen any of the recent content from that man. So
Yeah.
whatever it is, whether it's 10G, whether it's the woke mind virus or the brainworm itself, pretty tough to say for sure. But as far as RFK goes, he's certainly he's still out there giving it his old college try. You know,
I definitely am of the opinion that it is the brainworm that is to blame for his complete cognitive decline, whatever you want to call it. So, I have heard the man used to be taken seriously. I know we give him a lot of shit here on the podcast, but I know he actually is responsible for what some respected environmentalists refer to as serious work. So, I believe him.
He's burned too many brain cells now to be worried about his brain cells now. Now.
He was a respected sexual deviant for decades, and then he got bad. Yeah, that's the take.
The woke culture canceled him, unfortunately. Societal erosion, the end of Camelot, all of these things played a deciding factor, I think.
Yeah, and on the Israel-Hezbollah question, does Israel not have a right to attack every country on the planet?
I wish they would do it, but not with our money at this point.
You wish they would attack every country. I want it'd be great.
Not with our money.
Let's pull. Yeah, we pull the plug on Israel. We don't send them another dime, and they start a war with fucking Tasmania. Let's go.
Yeah. They just drop a nuke. Just take them out one by one.
Nuke them.
Around the world they go.
I to actually substantively answer the question though, I think that unless it's like World War III, most Americans just tune it out. That's my honest opinion. I think unless it's like something that's people seriously think, oh shit, this is going to affect me in Ohio or whatever, they're just like, oh yeah, that sucks. Terrible things are happening around the world. I can't do anything about it, so might as well tune it out. So no, I don't think it's going to affect the race all that much unless it turns into something really scary for people here in America. Obviously, it's really scary for people there, and it's horrific. I'm not trying to downplay that, but that's just my brutally honest analysis based on the normal people I talk to. They're not voting based on what's going on in Lebanon. They might, even if they know if it's happening, they might not fully understand that America's responsible for it. They're like, well, what are we supposed to do about it? We're not Israel. That's a different country. They don't really get how intertwined we are.
Right. Well, E-Dog, thank you so much for knowing Discord. Round of applause for E-Dog. Come on, let's go. First caller ever.
E-Dog.
Before I let you guys go, I want to say thank you. I would have never found out about your show unless someone showed me a clip. I think it was the Progressive Voice. So I am happy to be a subscriber to you guys, and everyone keep up the good fight. Let's win in November.
Yes,
yeah,
Trump. Okay, all right. One more caller here. We are RFK. Vivek Owens. Maha. Maya he. All right, we got two more callers here, and then we're gonna end the stream. Billy from Virginia, welcome. We are America, but so are you. What's your question, Billy from Virginia? And I'm not doxing you. That's what's on your username, okay? And your social security is 6.
Are you from
5.
north of Richmond?
Yeah, what area? North, south.
Are you in Richmond, north of Richmond?
All right, Billy.
Billy, we'll catch you
figure out
next
your
time.
mic.
Billy Strings.
We got John Ross here. John Ross, welcome. We're America, you're America. What's going on?
What up, John?
Here
Ross.
to join the circle of jerks.
Now, the Discord might be new for some people. The mute button is kind of bottom left area typically. I don't know if you're on your phone or on desktop, but you are muted. Let me try to unmute you. Can I unmute you myself? Let's
see.
John Ross.
I like this style where we have people on and then we don't let them speak. We impose our own viewpoints onto America. We heard
I'm running out of time. And
I never get enough.
We have to do two more calls. I'm running out of time. John, America, you're America. What's up?
The floor is yours. What's your question?
Oh man, that's a great
he
question,
muted it.
John.
No, he muted again. It's okay. This is part of call-ins. Okay, this happens.
It's all good. We understand stage fright is a real thing. There's a reason why.
Okay, someone
we
says
do the
move.
show from behind our freaking laptops instead
Someone
of
says move on. My phone number is fucked. Okay, well then that might be the first and only caller. The first stream. It's a new thing that we're trying out here.
It's
I don't
morning
know.
in America.
Like, do we think a cell phone number would be better? Like if we just put a Google Voice number up instead? I don't know. I like the Discord. I like educating people.
America hotline.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely keep working on the segment. It's something I'm definitely committed to polishing, though, because I think it's gonna be a lot of fun when we get it fully set up, and when people also are used to, the idea of expecting the fact that it's gonna happen. I think we'll get more. Books.
Totally. Well, then let's end, and maybe I can edit this out as like the ender clip too here. But let's hear from Mark Robinson himself to end out this stream on what he thinks is going on with all these Nude Africa posts, and it's actually it's a Silicon Valley terrorism attack on his candidacy.
Oh, the AI.
People here of North Carolina know I have been completely transparent about my history, all the warts. We put them all out. We let folks know about it. But the folks here also know my character. They know who I am. They know my voice, so to speak. This is not my voice. This is not things that we would ever say or even think. And so absolutely we do.
How do you explain all of the matching details on this profile? The profile on Nude Africa lists your full name as Mark Robinson. The email listed on the account is an email that you have used elsewhere on the internet, including with your photo. You have used that name, Mini Soldier, on multiple social media accounts, including Twitter, Pinterest, Black Planet, and YouTube. How can you deny, with all of these matching details, that this is you?
Look, I'm not going to get into the minutia of how somebody manufactured these salacious tabloid lies, but I can tell you this. There's been over $1 million spent on me through AI by a billionaire son who's bound and determined to destroy me. The things that people can do with the internet now is incredible. But what I can tell you is this, again.
These might be the first. These might be the first like AI images that are actually spelled correctly for some reason. Like, like they don't have any of the fuck ups. Oh, hey, we got John Roos here. John, what's up?
I think it's Ross, but yes, what's up, John Ross?
What's up, folks?
Hey, John.
What's the question for you from the Circle Jerk hotline?
John, you're America. We're America. What's your question?
Oh God, I'm like lost for words just being here. So
okay, all right.
Starstruck.
Well, we love that. We love nothing about that. Everything about that. We can't hate anything.
I also can barely hear you, John. I don't know if that's just me.
I'm trying to boost him. If you guys go on your Discord, you can right-click a person's name and turn their individual volume up. I've done that for the stream, but John, if you did have a question for Circle Jerk America, what would it? It could be anything. What could the question be?
Please stop doing the show because it's hurting people.
No, not that. I actually like the show. I listen to it in podcast form. So
whoa.
One of the 15. I shout out to you, John.
It's a strong Spartan 90 to 105 on the Spotify.
And as a fellow podcaster, like, dude, I like sympathize with all y'all with the struggle. So keep at it. You know what I'm saying? And I love the shirt, by the way, Zach.
Oh, thanks, man. I got this shit for free. Somebody left it, if you could believe it, just in the middle of the old apartment that I had with Gavin. It was just in the lobby of where Gavin lives now.
Well, aren't you?
You got there before I could grab it.
I know, and it's also a size medium. I think Gavin's a large. That was the two things working in my favor. Yep.
I'm personally like I'm an extra large because I like the extra space. If you know what I mean, like I kind of go within the large and extra large.
Oh yeah, my height would dictate that I'm a small, but I also have dignity, so I wear a medium instead.
John, I've got 60 seconds before I'm fired from my day job. What's your question? What's a question?
What's a question? Well, I'll give you this question because this is how I feel about this election. How pessimistic are you, all three of you, equally in this election, with this upcoming election? Like in probably 3 words.
Which one?
How pessimistic?
Oh no, yeah.
Are you either all three of you or individually about this election?
Well, I'll tell you what. No matter what happens, America wins, and as a circle jerker, that makes me proud. But what about you guys?
You go next, Griffin.
Oh, okay. Yes. I don't know what istic I am. Goes up and down. But it's almost over, and that's nice. It feels very European in that way. We're almost done. It just started. Now we're almost done. And whether it's Kamala or Trump, and Israel attacks every person and kills every child on the planet, like for me, Joe Biden was punished and humiliated on a national stage in front of everyone and has been roundly forgotten. And that brings me joy. That makes me really happy. So that's where I'm at. Gavin?
Yeah, no, I sign off on that. I kind of feel the same way. As far as like getting progressive goals accomplished, if you're asking like from that perspective, not the most optimistic. Not gonna lie, I don't think that we have much to be excited about as far as like serious progressive priorities being met. But if you're just talking about like pessimistic about Donald Trump getting rejected by the American people, I'm pretty optimistic that will happen. I think that there's a really good chance that the American people say enough is enough. We're done with the Trump era. It's time to move on to something else, hopefully something better. And then, even if Trump wins, the way I'm staying optimistic is just thinking about, well, that gives the left that 4 years to rebuild and actually participate in the primary that we were denied this time around. So, there was kind of a fake primary with like Marianne Williamson and stuff. The one truly good thing about Trump winning in November would actually allow the Democratic Party the opportunity to spend the next 4 years getting an actual primary together, and I think that would be a lot of fun to cover. It would be a lot of fun to participate in, all that kind of stuff. So I love primaries. That's the way I look at it. Sometimes I just have to look at this whole entire circus as a horse race because it's just easier to. But yeah,
I said when we started the podcast, and what I dream for the Vanguard and for Circle Jerk America is that in 2028 and 2029, people blame us for the way it went. Like people blame us and our audience for whatever negative repercussions happen. And John, you're part of this too.
It's his fault.
They blame all three of us. They blame all the early callers in. All the early call-ins. So,
you guys gave us inspiration and motivation when we were at our lowest and emboldened us when we were almost trampled out. And whatever success we have will be the fault of you.
I got to go. John, thank you so much for your question. Please call in again sometime.
Oh, no problem.
Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
This
Yes.
is the Circle of Jerks.
I got to go. Zach, Gavin, can you guys post in the Vanguard chat one last time our Discord and our YouTube link? We're going to have a stream over there soon once YouTube uncucks us. And join the Discord for future call-ins. This is incredible. We heard a little bit from America today. And I got to go. Bye.
Peace out, gang.
Peace.
A lot of fun.
It's AI.